Thank you, Julie. Our keynote speaker tonight is a perfect example of what each of our students can achieve. Lorrie Vogel, she graduated from the College of Visual and Performing Arts with a Bachelor of Industrial Design degree in 1988. Since then, she has built an esteemed career in innovation and design that stretches from her early days as a toy designer at Texas Instruments all the way to her current role as founder of Imagine Now, an innovation consultancy. She also spent 21 years at Nike, bringing innovation to all facets of their products, which she will tell you more about in just a few moments. Since Lorrie's arrival in Syracuse, she has been able to meet and spend time with our School of Design students, view their work, and tour the warehouse. I'm grateful that she was able to travel to campus for our convocation after 2 years of postponement due to COVID. And now, please join me in welcoming Lorrie Vogel.
Thank you for inviting me back to Syracuse and for the gracious introduction. I am so glad to be here and to be a Syracuse VPA graduate, class of '88. I always thought that 88 was such a cool number, but 22 is pretty cool too. I want to recognize all the folks supporting the graduates, the parents, what you have been through, the siblings and friends, the faculty and staff, and all of those here who have poured their time and energy and love into these graduates. I want to congratulate the graduates, the Syracuse VPA class of 2022. You have overcome so much and persevered to be here today. Doesn't it feel great to be here in person? Looking at the sea of blue and orange, you look good. You have come here to study from all across the country and the world. I remember my first day in the College of Visual and Performing Arts. We were all seated together in the auditorium, where they announced that they had students from all over the world, from Texas to Switzerland. I knew that I was the kid from Texas, and later that day, I found out that the kid from Switzerland was my roommate. We were the bookends of the world, all in one dorm room in Sadler Hall. And I was so lucky to have her. She was my best friend throughout college, and actually she's here today. The best way to hold on to Syracuse when you leave is to keep in touch with your friends. Cherish the friendships that you built and nurture them throughout your life. To the graduates who are the makers of music, of drama, of social commentary, of art and film, and of design, whose parents asked you, "Are you sure you want to do that?" Think about it. You have already started your life by following your passion. That is a big deal. You held true to what you wanted to do. It's not easy being a VPA student. You're not the doctor or the lawyer, but you are the makers. You are the ones who will create the future. You, the makers, provide joy and inspiration, but you also reimagine our world. My passion led me to designing products for athletes. I loved sports as a kid, and my dream was to play tennis at Wimbledon. So you can imagine my excitement when I got a call from Nike offering me a job as a footwear designer, creating products for the best tennis players in the world, like Andre Agassi and Serena Williams. They told me my job would be to travel with them to Wimbledon, the US Open, and the French Open, and to make sure that they were happy with their products. I remember hanging up the phone and wondering, are they seriously going to pay me for this job? Because I would have done that job for free. I loved helping athletes be their best. And for each product I designed, the question was, how do I make this product better for the athlete? As Nike and the world started to look at the environmental impacts of the products we are creating, the next question was, how do we design this product to be more sustainable? That's when my passion shifted to serving the needs of the athlete and the planet at the same time. I was fortunate to lead sustainable design and innovation for Nike, and we made significant strides in reducing the environmental impact of our products, like making our World Cup soccer jersey from 8 recycled plastic bottles. My team was trying to design a better world, and we got the opportunity to influence world leaders, presidents, vice presidents, and prime ministers at the World Economic Forum. My team created a simulation on what actions were needed now to make the world better for future generations. We created a game that allowed the leaders to pull different levers, like reduce carbon, reduce water, reduce pollution, and the list goes on and on and on. The hope was, as they played the game, they would realize that they had to pull all the levers, not just a few, to meet the challenges of going from 7 billion people to almost 10 billion people by 2050. I wanted them to see a new way forward and to feel a sense of urgency to act now. I felt the weight of this moment. And as the pressure grew, I started to feel overwhelmed. So I walked outside and I sat on a bench. We were in India at the time, and the local woman who was helping me set up, she sat down next to me. She asked if I was okay. I said I just feel overwhelmed, that there are so many things that need to be changed in the world to make it better. She looked at me and she said, "What a privilege to try and solve these problems. Most of us are just trying to feed our families." And in that moment, I realized it was a privilege. Most of the planet is just struggling to get food on the table, but I had the privilege to affect change in the world. And I'm going to pass that sense of responsibility over to you, the creators. When you go out and look for jobs, seek out opportunities where you can make a difference in the world. This is a powerful group. Remember, one of our graduates is the leader of the free world. You are the visionaries and the creators who've been given the gifts and the talents to create a better world. In the immortal words of Margaret Mead, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Our generation gave your generation a lot of problems to solve because we couldn't imagine a world with clean air and clean water and where food is available for all, where fossil fuels stay in the ground and wars aren't over limited resources. We couldn't imagine a sustainable economy where resources aren't depleted, but in a continuous loop in balance with nature. My generation wasted a lot of years debating if climate change was real. We were stuck in our old, unsustainable model. But your generation can create a new model because necessity is the mother of invention, and we're at an inflection point where we need you to take action. Your generation has already seen unprecedented change with the pandemic. Who would have thought that the majority of us would work from home last year? Or that we would develop a vaccine for a pandemic in under a year? Or that my mom could read a menu with a QR code? The pandemic was the catalyst for that change, but limited resources will be the catalyst for your change. Seeing how quickly the world adapted to the pandemic gives me hope that adaptation will be the norm for your generation, and that will allow your generation to change the world faster. We need your vision and your passion. There has never been more of a time when the world needs new creators. Go forth and create good. Congratulations.